Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner stream. And today I'm going back to 2012. This will be the first of two of the MREs that my Iowa sister Latha gave me. The other one is a vegetarian menu, and I will pull that one out in a few weeks because I will be doing some other stuff in between. So what I have here is a menu 8 marinara sauce with meatballs. This is packed by Ameriqual. There is a Angry Blacksmith in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I see a couple others that haven't popped into dropped a comment yet, but Ameriqual puts the date codes on theirs. Don't know how well that'll focus, but might not focus, but it is 2165. So the 165th day of 2012. There is Pat and Aletha and Chris. I'm just working the seal open. And there is Sean from Ration Museum. There is Karen in the house. Thanks to all of you for dropping in. So, Ameriqual, what they do, I have something else here off to the side I'll bring out in a little bit, but what Ameriqual does is they put their components inside of an inner bag. Some people like them, some don't. But the last time I opened up one of these, this inner packaging actually saved that MRE because the outer bag got totally messed up during transit. And I opened it up just to make sure that everything was okay. And because of this inner packaging, everything was all tight together. And I had no issues. But this is a different kind of a packaging that I've seen Ameriqual do. I've never seen them do something like this, which looks like an oversized version of their accessory pack. I'm just gonna take my blade and cut that open. There we go. Again, as always, I use, this will be my trash bag. So right off the top here we have a hot beverage bag, which I don't use, but I keep these bags. My drink will be going in, my cold drink will be going into the drinking jar. Got a flameless ration heater, but see, here's a date code. That's a letter Z after the 4 in this one, so it's 2114. But I will not be using the ration heater because, you know, I want to be sure that it's heated all the way. So I will boil it. And here we have the Tropical Punch beverage powder, so that will go into the drinking jar. Got the spoon. Of course, I won't be using this because I have, oh, there you go, my foreignMRE.com spork. And here is cheese spread. There's puppy breath in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I will warm this. Got an apple cinnamon first strike bar. There's a wheat snack bread. And it says twin pack. So there's 2 of these. So apparently you would try to make a meatball sandwich. Got a pack, and I'll open that in a minute. Au gratin potatoes. Looks like 2095 date code on that one. And here is a marinara sauce with meatballs. It's 2-1. Really didn't have a dessert other than, if you consider this first strike bar a dessert, but I have something that I have seen other people rave about, and when I placed my last order from Minotaur Trading Company, they had this. This is 2012. This is the Creamsicle Cookie. Now, I've always wanted to try this ever since I heard about it. So I thought, you know what, since 2012, I'll have the Creamsicle too. Why not? And the accessory pack, I'm just cutting that open for sake of time. Got creamer non-dairy. That goes in the foreign MRE mug. Got a moist towelette. The peppermint gum. Type 3 coffee. There's Splenda, and there's foreignMRE.com. It's Art, thanks for dropping in. Splenda is made from what's called sucralose. It's like a sugar derivative, but it's supposed to be like a different kind of artificial sweetener. But I have my issues with those, and I'll just leave it at that. Got a packet of salt. If I was using the ration heater, I would be dropping this salt in there. And got a rear roll. No matches in this one. I'm going to go ahead and open up these boxes. So I will have 2 pouches to go into the pot. This is a au gratin potatoes pouch. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. And this one has a tear notch that goes this way. So this would probably how fat that is compared to the thickness of. Sorry about that. I got interrupted. I almost got kicked off, but this would barely fit in a ration heater bag. But I can feel the individual meatballs, and they're probably about the diameter of a quarter or a Susan B. Anthony dollar. Again, this one is the same. I am going to mix up this beverage powder first just to make sure it has plenty of time to dissolve. Powder looks nice and loose. It looks about the same color as the regular fruit punch. I like to try to stick the whole pouch into or jar. Oh, what? There's not much left in this bottle. I'll just put it all in. This looks a little bit lighter, almost with a bit of an orange tinge than the regular fruit punch. I'm checking the chat while I do this. Oh yeah, that one was a good one. It was a bummer those baked beans in that British 10-man ration have already gone south. But it was cool to see what those. It was also cool to see that UGR. See a little bit of the powder wanted to clump up, and that's okay. I knocked it off. This is what the Type 3 coffee looks like for those that are not familiar with it. There is prep for it in the house. So that looks pretty good. I'm opening up the creamer. That looks absolutely fine. So there is the creamer on top of the coffee. Because I have my issues with these artificial sweeteners, I tend not to use them, but I save these that way in case someone else needs it who can tolerate it. Plus I have, diabetic friends, so if I'm with them, then if they need something, then I have it for them. I will put that back there. What I'm going to do, I am going to take these into the kitchen. I will put the cheese on top of the pot lid and warm it up that way. And then I'll come back to open up the rest of this. I'm back with the hot water for the coffee. I just took my kettle back into the kitchen just to get it out of the way. I put a little bit of my own sugar in the coffee since I won't be doing that Splenda. There is dark matter in the house. For those that have just came in, this is from 2012. US MRE Menu 8 Marinara Sauce with Meatballs. So there's the coffee. I'll be opening up, this is the apple cinnamon first strike bar. This looks just like the current ones, the most recent ones. It's a bit on the sticky side. So I'll be putting that there. Well, it's If it's something like rations, yeah, especially when you look at foreign rations. It can be interesting to see what they're like. Oxygen absorber left in there. These kind of got compressed together, so there we go. This is what the wheat snack bread looks like. So I will, I'll put these here. And again, this Creamsicle Cookie was made in 2012, but it did not come in this ration. I bought it separate because I've always wanted to try it ever since I've heard about it and seen others have it. Minotaur Trading Company had this. That orange scent comes out right when you open it up, and it's going to be broken up. So I'll put all the pieces here. I'm going to check the chat. Yeah, these, the wheat snack bread, when you get a single one, it's usually thicker. It's almost as thick as maybe 1.5 of these. But if you're supposed to make a meatball sandwich, because you don't get, I mean, these are not all that big. I mean, the first strike bar is longer, so you'd almost need something this long to accommodate all those meatballs. I just got cookie crumbs all over here. So I will be I might try to put the au gratin potatoes here, since this is the biggest of the side sections on this tray. Yep. Or what I could do, I could just actually rip this and then just put it down on the bottom and then pour the meatballs over it. Now that orange is just wafting off of that creamsicle cookie. So I think I'll just do the one like that for now. I might save the other one for putting some of the cheese on. We'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of this fruit punch. This is the tropical. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and give it another stir first because some of these tend not to mix very well. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff on the bottom. I may try some of the cheese on the meatballs as well. Uh, I think that seems to be a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. European tropical drinks are better tasting and actually look tropical because they look like they would have a citrus flavor, whereas this stuff, you really can't tell what it's supposed to be. Nope, they don't. That's why I gave it another mix, and I'll probably do it again later. But I am definitely wanting to go ahead and take a bite of this creamsicle cookie. This is a close-up of a piece of it. Oh, wow. It's a sweet orange. It's obviously artificial, but you can actually see some orange bits in there. But that is really, really good. I can see why everybody goes bonkers for that creamsicle cookie. It is really, really good. I'll take a drink of coffee. I'm going to take a taste of this bread all by itself. Yep, orange zest. And probably an artificial orange color. But it's still really good. Now this bread tastes like a shelf-stable bread. It doesn't taste bad or anything like that. You know, it hasn't gone off. Yep, I definitely have a sweet tooth, but there are times when I want something that is not quite so sweet, you know. Like, I love a good dark chocolate that isn't so sweet. But heck, you know, even the Europeans who do these might have a bit of a sweet tooth. I'm pretty sure delicious. Although he's kind of like me. He likes sweet things, but then he likes stuff that's not so sweet. He's in Poland, by the way. Yep. Now, these are, this one is quite flexible. And unlike the other First Strike bars, this has more of like a cereal bar texture to it. I don't know if this will focus on it, but it doesn't quite have the same texture as the chocolate or the mocha or even the cran raspberry. Oh, Delicious reminds you of that? Yeah, Delicious is really cool. He's in Poland and he can get stuff that would be a lot harder for us to get here. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Ration desserts too. I love a good fresh lemon poppy seed cake. But I also like the marble one. That's my second favorite. Anyway, I'm going to go get the entrees and the cheese, and I'll be right back. I am back. Slide the tray over. This is just a piece of my regular cookware set, and it's like a dome lid, but I just use it to carry my pouches in from the kitchen. And I get a paper towel so I can wipe them off. This one has a tear notch that goes across the top. I shake the food down so it gets below the tear notch. And it actually goes down to here. Looks like a Chef Boyardee sauce. That's what that looks like. Well, that's pretty much all of it. Sticking this back in the box it originally came in. I will get that out of the way. And slide the tray back over. I'm going to dry the potatoes off. I'm actually going to cut this one open instead of using the tear notch because I want to open it from the end. There you go. There is the scallop potatoes, or the au gratin potatoes. I warmed this cheese spread, but I'm still giving it a knead. Yep, they do look good. Sometimes the sauce on these potatoes can be a bit thin, like the scallop potatoes, the sauce can be a bit thin, but that looks pretty thick. Ooh, this cheese looks a bit dark. I don't know if it shows up dark. It doesn't smell bad, it doesn't stink, but I just dropped that clump. Oop, there it is. Well, it still tastes fine. I'm not getting any funky aftertaste in my mouth. So I'm still going to put some of it on the bread. I'm going to go ahead and take a taste of one of these meatballs. That tastes just like a Chef Boyardee meatball. Yeah, nowadays no one can sneak stuff in because, you know, someone might think that there's the nasty on it, you know. I picked up a piece of bread to see what it's like with the sauce on it. That definitely counters the dryness of that bread because this bread is pretty dry. But it's still pretty good that way. But I just can't see trying to use this bread to try to make a meatball sandwich. I mean, there's like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. There was 10 meatballs, but I just ate one. So yeah, last time I was actually, my last surgery was back in '07 when I had my gallbladder yanked. I'm picking up a meatball and the bread at the same time. Now that definitely works. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite of the bread with just this. Now this cheese looks weird, but it doesn't stink. It still tastes good. It just tastes like it's older. It still tastes salty as ever. There is A-OK Foraging and Adventures. They're also here in Iowa. Tack and Brenda. I don't know if one or both of them is watching, but yeah, you should check out that channel out. They received a new, I'm not sure that would be called a bell tent, since it is almost like a big old cone with just short side walls. There is Sis Dad in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Haven't seen you in here before. I'm going to put keys on here now. So there's a meatball, there's a bread, and the sauce with a bit of the 8-year-old cheese. Oh, Dark, you're going to be moving. Hopefully it's someplace that you'll be able to keep doing all your woodworking and stuff like that. And speaking of woodworking, Tack's wife Brenda, oh, you should see what she can do with a piece of wood. She can carve. She has made utensils. I have 3 of them. I have 2 spoons and a spatula. And she has made hobo reels for people. They look really cool. And there is Jay. Good to see you here too. And Brenda made the sign that is on the memorial bench out at the camp on the Brahms property. Oh yeah, I would love to go there too, Chris. That would be awesome if I could get a ride over there. I'm just rolling a piece of the bread in the sauce. But yeah, this it's meatballs and marinara. I guess on the MRE Facebook group that I'm in, some people say they like it, some don't. But I really like this. Now, if this was the cheese spread with jalapenos, I think that would give it a little bit of an extra kick. I'm going to take a drink of this. Now I'm going to go for some of these potatoes over here. It definitely tastes cheesy. Oh, Sunshine, if you have to go, that's fine. Thanks for dropping in. Yep, these potatoes, I wouldn't mind if they had a little pepper on them. But the cheese sauce is thick, it's not runny. The potatoes are quite soft, though, but, you know, I suppose that's to be expected for sitting in a retort for this long. Yeah, Sunshine, do come back again next week. But that, it tastes like a cheddar. Like a mild cheddar. That's what this sauce tastes like that's on these potatoes. Of course, now I'm going to have to go for what Dub C would call a megabyte. Now that's actually not too bad, mixing the potato in with the meatballs and the sauce and putting the cheese on it. Yeah, it tastes like a mild aged cheddar. Of course, it has aged in the pouch, but this is pretty darn good. Even though it does taste like it tastes like the Chef Boyardee meatballs. And I'll cut one in half. See the inside of it. Oops, flipped. There we go. This is what the meatball looks like on the inside. Oh, yeah, he was in there. He probably had to go do something else. But maybe one of these times he'll come into my stream. I think I'm going to put some of these potatoes in here with the meatballs, just for the heck of it, just because I can. It could be the connection. Sometimes there is a bit of a lag between the caster and the receiver. That's okay, do what you got to do. Yeah, I've had that happen to me too, Latha, where my phone gets so hot that it has shut down. And that's what happened a few weeks ago. And because I have a backup, thanks for I switched to the backup, and what you're looking at is menu 8 marinara sauce with meatballs, packed in 2012. And I added a 2012 Creamsicle Cookie that I bought from Minotaur Trading Company because I wanted to try one. I've heard so much about them. So this is a close-up of a piece of the cookie. And there's the orange flavor is really, really strong in this. It's a sweet, obviously artificial orange, but it's still really good. I'm glad I got it. Yep. It's, my heater hasn't kicked on for a while. There is CR. Thanks for dropping in. Glad you could join me for dinner. This is my room temp here. And then this is the humidity right here. And that's Fahrenheit, so... There goes 17 degrees Celsius. So that's what it is in here right now. Let's see, outside here. I'm going to check real quick on my other phone. .44 degrees. That's 44 Fahrenheit. So, this one has turned out very well. Now, this Creamsicle Cookie is really good. I'm not sure if Minotaur has any more of these left, but if they do, I suggest getting it. If I had gotten out one of my British orange cocoa powders, this would be good to dunk in that. Because those do have a slight hint of orange flavor. It's not too strong, but it is there. I'm trying to spread this cheese on this bread, but it doesn't spread all that easy. Kind of likes to clump up, but that's okay. It's a little dark, but it still definitely tastes like a cheese spread should, just an older one. And these are quite salty, at least to me. Oh wow, nice, Dark. That would be so much handier for you, so you can cut your blanks to whatever size you need. You know, for your projects, especially if you do something larger. It's an apple cinnamon first strike bar. It's my least favorite of the first strike bar flavors, but I still eat them. And of course, I'll finish this one off too. Ooh, wow. I will definitely be watching that one, Dark. I really like how you can get all that together and do your carving, or you put it on a lathe and turn it into something that's totally awesome. Especially the ones that you did with the marbles. Well, I might and I might not. Who knows? Yeah, I think it's cool when you're able to put the marble in and you'll get it just right. And hopefully all of you have seen my post before I put up the picture of this. I posted about my new eyeballs. I got myself some new eyeballs. I picked them up on Friday. Well, that's cool. I wish I could do that here, but I just don't have the space to do anything like that. I took shop classes in high school, and I really enjoyed the projects that I made. I did not keep all of them. One box I donated to I gave it to a little girl for her dolls. And then a lamp that I had made, when the lamp works, the guts of the lamp failed, I just decided not to keep it because it would have been too hard to get that tube out that I ran the cord through, to get the head off in order to put a new socket in there and a new cord. So I just didn't keep it, but I have 2 tables that I've made, So I did keep those. And the second one is made out of cherry. And I carved a pedestal. I freehanded it on a lathe. I didn't follow a specific pattern. I just grabbed different gouges and just made different shapes all up and down it. And it turned out pretty cool. Of course, it's my microwave table, so I have my microwave on there, and I have a few other things that I keep on there all the time. And I keep stuff under that table too, so you know, when you're in a small apartment and you're a prepper, you got to find every bit of space you can to store your stuff. Now, this is my second drinking jar. For those that have not been here before, my original drinking jar was one that my mom had given me quite a few years ago. And during some of my reviews, I was having a second hot drink, so I would do it in there, but I did one too many, and it broke. I managed to salvage most of the cocoa, and I poured it into another mug. So I thought I'd better buy another drinking jar because I like having a drinking jar. So this one is a ball. The one that my mom gave me was a different brand. I forget what it was. But this one was a vintage. I don't know how old it was, but I found it on eBay and it was inexpensive, so I got it. So only cold drinks will go in there. Oh, yep, some people find all kinds. Lived previously to here, I didn't have my own outdoor space, but now I have a deck, and it got repaired this summer, so it is now stable. And last week I put my outdoor furniture back out there. And my heater, which is also my air conditioner, that just now kicked on. So I don't know if you can hear it, but it replaced the old air conditioner. That's it's one of those window units, but it's mounted into the wall. A piece of potato got into where my cookie is. But that one died before the derecho. Yeah, I do miss the central air that I had in my old place. But so far, this is working out. But that one died. And what the maintenance guys did was they raided an empty apartment. They took the one that is running now out of there and either junked my old one or put it in there just to have something in the wall until they can get another replacement for that one. And this one is programmable. It's easier to get the filter out to wash it off. So, and they told me it has a heat function, so I turned that on. I set it to 64. So even though my little thermometer that sits on top of my computer tower doesn't always say 64 when it comes on. Its sensor does, but I don't care. I don't need to have it super hot in here in the winter because I got my food storage in here, and I don't want it to get too hot in here. And so in the summer, I really crank that thing hard, so it stays a lot cooler in here. Because I want to have my long-term food last as long as possible. And sudden temperature changes can shorten the shelf life a little bit. So that's why I try to keep it close to, as long as I can keep it below 70 in here, I'm happy. And of course, when the derecho hit, that knocked out our power. So it got hot and humid in here, but, it is what it is. But eventually I am going to get an inverter. I have a deep cycle battery. And it supposedly has a charge controller in it, but I did not get anything with it that would allow me to plug it into a wall outlet to charge or to connect to a solar panel, so I need an inverter. And a wall charger that I can plug it into a wall when I can't use solar, because I have little solar panels. My little 10 watters and my little 5 watt just won't cut it. Well, thanks for dropping in. So all of you who are leaving, thanks for dropping in. And again, I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central. That's 8 Eastern. If it's a little late for some, well, during Ramadan, I was doing these a lot later because, when I'm fasting, I don't eat until after sunset. I eat a very, very early breakfast before first light, and then I don't eat or drink anything at all or even take medicines until after sunset. And because I don't take time-sensitive medicines, I can get away with it. Yeah, those canned meats that have the Department of Agriculture stamp on them. Oh, I've seen those before. And in one place I lived, I would... it was an apartment building, one of the high-rises here in the city, and there are people who get what's called they're just affectionately known as commodities, and seniors can apply for these monthly deliveries from Department of Human Services, and if you meet the requirements, you can get these monthly deliveries, or you have to go pick them up depending on where you live. But I would help people take them into their apartments, or if a person does not like something or cannot eat something, then they put it in a common area and just leave it for anyone else to take, and I would nip some of that. And of course, when my family worked at the YMCA camp outside of Boone, Iowa, back when I was in high school, we would get the big old blocks of cheese that are about that long. Think of like a block of the Velveeta cheese, but double the size. We would get that, and we would use that in some of the meals. Oh yeah, I ate the heck out of that cheese too. I mean, it's a really good cheese. Yep. It slices a lot easier than the Velveeta. You can freeze it and it's not affected. Because we kept that until it was needed. We would wait until we get enough of it to do what we needed to do for the meals. Because when you're running a camp kitchen, you had to have a good amount of food for the kids and the counselors. Yep, the peanut butter and the powdered eggs. Yep. I ate the powdered eggs too, so I know all about those. The juice cans were juice in a can with you don't see those canned juices anymore. Although I have not seen and no one around here gets those commodity foods delivered. For one thing, because we're still undergoing a reno here, there are a lot of vacancies. In fact, there's only one other person on this floor, and he's at the other end. Pineapple juice was in the can, and you had to use one of those, some call them church keys, like you would use to open up a can of sweetened condensed milk. In fact, when I lived in that one building, or when I was working as a home health aide, and someone would want to get into one of those cans, and I would open up the can for them so they could drink the juice out of it. I found one of those in a thrift store. And I also found one of those knob can openers, but it has one of those church key type things on it also. It has both. It's got the can opener, the pointed punch on one end, and then it has, or on one of the handles, and then it has the bottle opener, the rounded end on another part of that can opener. Plus, it's a regular can opener that you turn to open up a can and take the whole lid off. I found that in a thrift store. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can get the frozen juice concentrates that are in a tube, like you would get the Pillsbury biscuits or crescents. Yeah, you can see any of those for a while. But I don't have a very big freezer, so I don't have a whole lot of stuff in there. In fact, yesterday I went and picked up 2 chunks of frozen turkey that someone had left in the freezer at my mosque, and I also went there to check on some other things, and I was told, since we're not doing meals, that if there's anything as far as food wise that I needed, I could take. So I brought home probably like maybe 12 or 13, and there's still probably that, maybe another 5 or 6 pounds, or maybe there's maybe another 10 pounds there that I could not bring home because, for one thing, it's heavy and it's all hardened up. Despite I put my homemade rice packets in there, but they absorb so much moisture that they cannot absorb it more. And I brought home a quart jar full of the Sweet and Low packets. See, like they're the pink version of that. And then there are some loose tea, so I brought that home. And some more Somali coffee. It's a spiced coffee that I really like. And I also brought home some tea bags. So I put the loose tea in Mylar bags with the oxygen absorbers and sealed that up. Oh, I love chai. One of my sisters first introduced me to it quite a few years ago. It was one of those instant chais. You just get the instant cappuccino mix, but it was a chai mix. And I've also had the chai tea bags, and I really like that as well. Chai is a spiced tea, and it's usually flavored with cinnamon, cardamom, and it can have ginger. And clove, and maybe some black pepper, which may sound strange for tea, but I really like that combination. Yeah, here in Des Moines, there is one called Gong Fu Tea, and all they do is tea, loose teas, bagged teas, oriental teas, like Asian, and they sell the ceramic teapots and cups and anything tea related, they got it. Oh yeah, in fact, I think my next grocery run, I am going to get a box of the chai tea bags because I like it. Well, Earl Grey is a good tea also. I like that one too. No, it's not quite like loose tea. And I do have a tea ball that I can put the loose tea in, but some of it might be it might slip out through the holes in the tea ball. Because what mine it's one of those little metal ones that has hole in it. It's not a mesh type. So the holes might be a bit too big for some of the tea bits. So you probably still want to strain it when you pour it. Oh, a flat top Dave, I didn't notice you in here. You must have snuck in through the cat door. No, I don't have a cat door, not in this apartment, but thanks for dropping in. But yeah, I do like teas. I drink one mug of coffee first, and then I drink tea after that in the winter. I do hot tea. In fact, my coffee pot is set up to do a hot tea brew. So when I'm done with these two drinks, I'll fire that up. I finished off the bread with the cheese on it. There's still some cheese left in this packet. I'm just checking the chat. Yep, I keep a fair amount of hot chocolate mix as well. But I don't get into it a lot. I have all the extra cocoa mixes that have come out of rations, like some of the French ones and the British ones. Oh, yep. My late dad used to eat sardines all the time. I never really got into them. I always thought they were kind of weird, but yet I ate a lot of another fish called smelt. And, that's... a smelt is a sardine-sized fish that we would have deep fried. Well, back in the day, a lot of cans probably had those attached keys that you'd have to pop off. But I think the Spanish sardines that I've had out of their rations, those are pretty good. I have never actually fished for smelt, and so my dad may have done that, or my parents simply bought it, or people gave it to us. I have no idea how we got it, but when we got it, we would just have it deep fried. Oh, sorry, Aletha. I wish I could upload something to you, but I don't know how well that would work. I hope your loss of taste and smell isn't because of the big nasty. Oh, we ate a crap ton of salmon patties too. In fact, my last grocery run to Walmart, I grabbed a small can of salmon. That's about the size of those your the regular size tuna and chicken cans. In fact, I think that was the only can of salmon that the Walmart had, and I got it. Well, I hope it is negative, but if it's not, well, you know what you got to do, and I hope you're prepared. When I was with TAC in June at Thomas Mitchell Park here outside of Des Moines, there's a slope fish called a creek chub. And I only caught one of those. I almost had a couple others, but they got off the hook. But they're probably no longer than what's left of this bar. And but she took all of them that we got that weekend home, and she had her, I don't know if it's her mother or her mother-in-law there, and she cooked them all up and had enough for a meal to feed everybody there. But I have never ate them, so but at least I caught one creek chub, so that's the first time I heard of that little fish. Oh yeah, my oldest sister, her school has gone back to all online classes because of the high positivity rate here in Des Moines. And my other two sisters are essential because one works for the TSA, Transportation Safety Administration, basically the airport security screeners. But she's in management, personnel mostly. But if she has to, because of an absence by a frontline screener or a luggage screener, she'll go take a shift, at a screening station. And then my other sister works in a daycare center. Oh, here in Iowa, we have issues with the prisons and jails, as well as nursing homes having nasty. Because if I say what it's actually called, I could either get flagged or the video could get demonetized. Nope, Doug, that's not happening. I will not do that. I will not go there. I like my modesty too much. Yep. Many years ago, I worked in a Greek restaurant, and I enjoyed it at first because the guy who originally owned it, he was a pretty cool guy to work for, and He was just personable, and even though I was hired to do the salads and wash the dishes, he would actually have me help him do some of the prep of the entrees and the appetizers and making the baklava. Oh, I miss that baklava. I miss the trimmings that were the kitchen snack. Oh, Dan Kuhn, thanks for dropping in. If you're just joining me late, this has been Menu 8, Marinara Sauce and Meatballs, packed in 2012. And I got a hold of a Creamsicle Cookie, also made that year. I've been wanting one of those ever since I first heard about them. I heard about these, I think, first from Old Smoky. And so I've always wanted to try one. And I'm glad I did. I got this from Minotaur Trading Company. And if they still have any left, I would encourage you to go get one if you like orange flavor cookies. Because the orange flavor really does come through. And you can see the bits of the orange colored chips. Well, it just looked that way to me. Sometimes I can see a name and I'm thinking it has to be pronounced in a certain way. Maybe it's because I've dabbled in other languages. My second language is Spanish. So that's probably, I would see that name and think, oh, this is how it would be pronounced. And, I've dabbled with a bit of Russian and a bit of French. And even a little bit of German. And when I was more active in coin and currency collection, I would use my books to do research on coins and banknotes for others, and an online coin chat that I used to be in. So they would send me pictures, and I would look them up on my books and tell them what it is. I tried to, speaking of Facebook pages, I tried to find that Ration Museum Facebook page, but it just wouldn't come up. That's funny, Dark. I'll try looking for that Facebook group another time. But I don't have to worry about that here, I just live with the cat. If you put the link on the channel homepage, I'll just try to get it off of there. Oh, and right now, he's in a pretty good spot in Philly because it's close to other historical sites. I'm owned by just one cat, and she turned 17 in October. It's probably not going to focus on there, but that is Mila poking out of one of her cubes. And there she's going in. She has a little, it's hard to show up the right above she has a little black dot that's surrounded by white on her neck. There she is inside one of those cubes. Yep, that's now Mila. Yeah, Mila. And when I received her from the person I got her from back in November of 2004, when she was only 5 weeks old, she did not have a name. And I thought, what can I name this little cuteness? And I thought, well, when I had some pet birds, I gave them all Polish names. So I dug into my Polish dictionary, and I found the word Mila. And I thought, that is exactly it. Her name will be Mila. Yep, she is definitely a queen. I'll tell you that. She likes to sleep on my bed when I'm not in there. But sometimes she'll come out here to sleep either on the chair that I'm sitting on now or in her. But a few times she has come out here during my streams, so I'll take my phone off the mount and aim it down at her so y'all could see her. Now that's a pretty, yep, I guess when they get older, they do sleep a lot more. And Mila does sleep a lot more. She doesn't play as much as she used to. She used to, like, run around at just full speed. But when I shake a string, she'll still go at it sometimes, but sometimes not. And she used to play with the stuffed socks. I would take a mateless sock and just stuff it with other fabric or compacted used dryer sheets or that really thin flexible sheet foam and then tie it up. And she used to play with those. That's Czech is pretty close to the same pretty much same neck of the woods as where my ancestors are from. I do have a Polish cookbook. It's English but Polish recipes, but I haven't really tried too many out of them. Oh, I love a good pierogi. I want to find some. Yeah, I've had the Mrs. T's brand. I do like those, but sometimes I will add a little something to them. But yeah, I love a good pierogi. And one time I found it's hard to find a kielbasa that doesn't have pork in it. We have Schwann's here. I haven't ordered from them in a long time. But I have seen the Schwann's truck drive around here in the past. Stop off to deliver to someone. But I haven't ordered from them in a long time. I just don't have the freezer space. If Schwann's has pierogis, then I will order them. I would like to try them. I've never known that they had pierogis. So, of course, my favorite will be made from scratch. But I do love a good tree. When we used to go to Omaha to visit my maternal grandmother, we would hang out at a bar that she worked in, and we'd hear a lot of Polski, a lot of people speaking Polish. I never got to learn Polish as a kid, maybe just a few words here and there, but I do have a Polish dictionary. And we ate a lot of pierogi, and of course, when we were hanging out at the bar, the other people would be buying us sodas all the time. Yep, don't watch live streams when you're hungry. Just like don't shop for groceries when you're hungry. That's one thing I have never had is a deep fried butter. Of course, I don't get to the fair very often. I think the last time I went, my sisters and I and my great niece, we went with my mom, and that was my mom's first time riding a city bus. But we hung around where the small animals were. Yeah, my great niece wanted to feed the baby goats. And then we went into another area that had some other animals of different types, and she got to see them. She liked that sort of thing, just seeing different animals and feeding them. And well, she now has geckos that my younger nephew gave her. He raises geckos and snakes and sells them. And, he makes some pretty good money doing that. Even these days, he can sell a corn snake baby if it's a specific color that he bred for, because corn snakes can be different colors. And same with some of the geckos. As long as they're in the same, they can be different colors, and sometimes he'll get a certain color pattern that people will pay top dollar for. And my dad's side is a mix. He liked to call himself a mutt. Because he's a mix of Irish, German, and Dutch. And there were rumors that there was a tiny bit of Paiute in his background, but there was no way to substantiate that. And plus, even if that were true, it would not have been enough to allow for a tribal registry. So we just never pursued it. Plus, my dad was born at home and not in a hospital, so I don't know what kind of birth documentation he had. So whatever there is, my mom would have. My dad died from cancer back in '08. And my maternal grandmother was the last of my grandparents to die, and she died in August of '08. So our family took a double hit that year. Yeah, my grandmother was 89. And my dad was only 68. Yeah, but it's tough to lose a parent, especially when it was cancer. Like my dad and my maternal grandmother. My dad's mother died from a heart attack back in '83 while I was still in high school. So she did not get to live to see all of her grandchildren graduate from high school, let alone college. Of course, only two of us graduated from college, my oldest sister and me. The rest tried it but didn't make it enough to get any kind of a degree. But my nephews both attended college. And my younger nephew, he studied what's called herpetology in as part of his degree at Iowa State University. He also studied similar things, related to animals and animal care, but not as a veterinarian. But he worked for the Des Moines, the Blank Park Zoo for a time. But he's doing a lot more of the breeding, so he does other work, but I think that's his main focus. But he makes pretty good money at it. Oh, lasagna sounds good. Yep. That's a pretty good one. I can't do anything like that. I can't type anything in chat on here because I'm doing it on my phone, so obviously I can't drop an emoji either. I'm just grabbing these boxes and I'm going to stuff them into the bag. There, I can throw the whole thing in my trash can just like that. Yeah, let's hope that it's a negative test, but losing a sense of taste and smell are symptoms of it. In fact, Old Smoky had that same issue, so he thinks he had it. And that was way early, when it was first getting going here, before there's a wide testing for it. But he's pretty sure he had that once that was known to be some symptoms of it. And it was really weird. In fact, when I sent him a custom, a goodie box, I sent him 2 of my grape juice powder drinks. I have like 4 left. I drank quite a few of those that I got, and I want to sit on the others for a while, but I sent him 2. He opened one, but because he had such a hard time tasting and smelling, he really couldn't taste the flavor of it. But I don't know if he has opened the second one yet. Oh, CR, that had to suck. So yeah. So if you had close contact with him, you would probably have to hole up for a couple of weeks. Oh, well, that's good. So, yeah, but people who have recovered can have some lingering issues, and I know a few people here who had it, and they still have some issues like a memory fog or tiredness or just some other things that just keep bothering them all the time. Or some might have some mental issues that they had never had before. Just different things could be bothering them for months after. Yep. Yeah. There was someone here who got it twice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, hopefully you knocked that headache down, but if not, peppermint essential oil on the spot where the headache is does help knock it down. I don't know how well that works for someone with a migraine, but for other kinds of headaches, it does work. So I carry a bottle of peppermint essential oil in my purse, so I keep one in there all the time. And I've used it on my right knee. Yep, that peppermint. It's got to be a pure essential oil. You don't want a blend. You want the pure stuff. But I also have some lavender and lemongrass essential oils. I have those just because I like the smell. That lavender is a calming one. Yep, the peppermint, the smell of it can be pretty strong. And I do like that strong smell too. I love the smell of the peppermint. But yeah, if you try that for your headaches, that might help knock them down. If you want to cut down on popping pills. There's still some powder on the bottom of this. Oh well, I'll finish drinking it. Yeah, I've heard lots of things about that test. That it can make you really feel uncomfortable when they're sticking that thing up your sniffer. Yeah, my mom wouldn't be able to do that because her sinuses are very delicate, and she had nose surgery several years ago to repair a crack, and they had to use pediatric instruments to do that. They had to use what they would normally use when working on a child's nose. Yeah, that red color leaves a red residue, Might not be able to tell that, but I can see it. I can see the red residue. That's why I prefer the foreign drink powders, because you don't get that. It rinses out though, you know. It comes out when I wash, either hand wash or put this in the dishwasher. But that red residue, yep. Well, this jar has a slight yellow tinge to it. It says a ball on it, but even though it's not the original that my mom gave me, you know, it's the same capacity, just different brand on it, but, you know, it's a vintage one, so yeah, I like it. But I will not do any hot drinks. I won't do any hot drinks in my Minotaur mug either. I will only do cold drinks that, you know, and it calls for 500 mils of water. Or if I want to do a double. Well, I'm probably going to close this out anyway. I've been on here 2 hours. So I pretty much ate everything except for the gum. I'm not a gum chewer, but I saved this gum. Well, I will come up with something different for next week. I have a vegetarian Norwegian Arctic filled ration. I have a vegetarian 2012 MRE, the other one that I got from Aletha last time she was here. I have more of the Russian food, the vegetarian 24-hour ration. And I have a Minotaur Trading Company Arctic filled ration, Arizona chili. I got the Titan ration, which also has Arizona chili in it. So I may only do just one of the entrees out of that instead of repeating the chili. And I have a 24-hour ration that I won from Jack of Trades. It was from MRE Mountain. So I have that one. So I haven't decided yet what I'll do, but I like to, because I have some vegetarian stuff, I'll alternate between ones with the meat and the vegetarian ones. But I will post up probably like, you know, before next Sunday what I'll do. But I think I'm going to go ahead and close this out, hand this off to YouTube to process it. And for some reason, my streams take hours to process and they're not viewable until like early in the morning. But oh well, it is what it is. And of course, again, I thank Art from foreignmre.com for dropping that $10 super chat. That's greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching and catch you on the flip side.